Hello, everybody. Welcome to another podcast episode of the Shakti Awakener podcast. My name is Indra and I am your host. For those of you who don't know me, I am a mentor and a Tantra teacher, and I'm mostly working with very powerful, intuitive leaders and women who are here to step into the path of sacred partnership and attract a man that really honors them and sees them and loves them for who they really are. And I'm also working a lot on the field of sacred sexuality and femininity. So these powerful women that come into my spaces really desire to get to know themselves on a deeper level and become the woman of their dreams. And today in this episode, I would like to talk about a very important subject that is about how to attract a healthy, conscious relationship. How to basically become the woman that is a magnet for beautiful, healthy, provider type men. You know, the type of man that every woman wants inside of her heart, and the type of man that you see on social media with all of the bouquets of flowers, with all of the chivalry, with all of the beautiful acts of service, and with the emotional intelligence. Because I have been through the same journey of not being able to attract this type of men and feeling stuck in my love life and wondering if these men even exist. And through this process that I've been through in my tantric journey, by learning and embodying Tantra, by working on myself and obviously working with multiple other mentors, I have transformed my beliefs about men. I have transformed my embodiment. I have transformed myself to be able to attract these type of men. And it's much more easier than you think, and at the same time it is a process of alchemy that needs to happen inside of you, because these men don't just drop from the sky because you say that you are ready for them. Lesson number one, number one thing, write it down. These men won't just drop from the sky because you say that you are ready for them. And here's why I'm saying this. This is because men like that, conscious, healthy men, your soulmate basically, won't just naturally drop from the sky if you don't feel worthy of him inside of yourself. Really take the time to feel my words and tune into the energy of what I'm saying, because this will shift things inside of you very profoundly just by listening to this. I programmed this video for you to feel the activation of these words and instantly remember a time in your childhood when, I don't know, you were bullied or you were rejected, and one of those things that you're still keeping inside of yourself, those emotional blockages, those traumas, those beliefs from your family, they are inside of yourself and they are stopping you from attracting the type of partner that you desire. So actually you need to be able to go within yourself and see what is stopping you from attracting that partner. And I'm not saying that you need to be perfect, because nobody is perfect. You don't need to. This is another shadow that I see in women. So we will talk more in depth about unworthiness, and let's talk about this shadow that I'm seeing in women, where they think that they need to be more healed, that they need to be fixed in some way, that they're not good enough as they are right now to attract their desired partner. So they constantly go in their inner work, and I used to do this a lot. They constantly go in their inner work from this space of I'm not good enough already. And I'm not saying that the answer is not to do inner work. The answer is to do inner work differently. And this is what I'm offering you. This is what is happening in my spaces. We are doing inner work differently, in the sense that I am connecting you with the version of you that already has everything that she desires. We are working very in depth with your identity, with your body, with your nervous system, to rewire it to feel like she is already there. Like we are literally quantum leaping, if you're into that type of stuff and if you're into that term. Think of this as a quantum leap that makes you feel like you are already there and there's nothing else to fix about yourself. It's just about you opening up more to love. It's just about you releasing the stories and the past identities and the traumas and the beliefs that you still hold on inside of you that make you avoidant in relationships, or make you anxious in relationship, or make you chase a man. I used to do all of these things, and it was very hard to battle with them, because every time I would get into a connection with a man, I would talk with him. We were in that period in which we were maybe going on a few days, getting to know each other. I would be very anxiously waiting for a text, and I would overthink if he did something, or if he didn't respond to my text, or I would get anxious that, oh my God, I'm gonna lose him, I'm gonna be abandoned, this is all gonna go wrong. And that is a sign also of your nervous system not being secure in a relationship. That is a sign that you're still battling some trauma, maybe especially from your father, of feeling like you will be abandoned if you are not perfect. Feeling like you will lose that person if you're not doing something to please them. So we see how all of these patterns of smallness, unworthiness, people pleasing are coming online in women, even years into their inner work. Because a lot, to go back a little bit, I like to circle around and jump into different types of conversations. But to go back to the first part about what I said about unworthiness, a lot of women are doing this relational work from the mind, from mindset, from coaching, from tips and tricks, and that's okay for the beginning. But if you're an advanced woman and you're really here to create the highest vision of your love life, the highest potential that you can hold in your personal but also in your love life, if you're here for deep love, then you get to a point in which that mindset work doesn't work anymore. Just normal regular coaching doesn't work anymore. You want to know why? Because mindset work is just tackling the mind. It's just giving you options on the outside of what you can do. This is why guides of how to meet a man, 7 tips on where to find the one are not working, because you need to go in your inner world and see and check in with yourself where you feel like you are not enough. Where has your father made you feel like you always need to look for approval and for validation, and that you always have to work, or you have to always be somebody that you are not all the time necessarily. Like you always need to keep your emotions in check. You always need to approve with what he's saying, or else he will leave. Like your body has been used to living from these stories so much that your body doesn't see any other way of being. Even if you know inside that there is another way of being, of more secure in yourself, of more detached, more open, more confident, more empowered, whatever that is, your body doesn't see that. And this wisdom is coming not just from my personal life, because I've been through the same, and my life completely changed when I discovered Tantra, because Tantra is going actually in the emotional world, is going into the depths of your body to understand where these blockages are and to release them. And also my life changed a lot when I discovered nervous system work, and I worked with some of the most powerful mentors in both of these fields and industries that have changed my life forever. And when that happened, I also realized that even if I knew I was worthy of a beautiful, high value man, or however you want to call him, my body was not on board with that. Sometimes I was avoidant. I was avoiding opening up about my true feelings. I was always stuffing them in and saying, yeah, it's fine, don't worry, when it wasn't. I know some of you will recognize this. Like, I know you will see yourself in this, because I know a lot of you and a lot of my clients are dealing with this exact same thing, in which they have a hard time expressing how they really feel, those hard emotions that sometimes trigger a man, but the right man will never run away from them. He will actually kind of love them. He will be like, yes, goddess, give me more. So anyway, So I was avoidant in many ways, but I was also very anxious because of my father wounds, because of my fears of being abandoned. And when I got into this work that works with the body and also with the mind, but mostly with the feelings that you hold inside, mostly healing the traumas on an energetic and physical level. And when I started to also work and double down with my identity, here you can see that there's multiple pathways and methods that each and every single one of them has its purpose, and I am combining all of these into my work. And by the way, I am holding a very, very powerful group online ceremony, a healing session for very powerful women who are ready to meet the one, who are ready to meet their divine union, their partner, or who are ready to go deeper into their own relationship, into the relationship that they already have, and meet the one, as in the masculine inside of themselves, to receive that deep healing of the masculine that they need. I will be holding this next Sunday on 11th of January, so 11/1, also a magical day, at 4 p.m. Dubai time. So that may differ from the time zone in which you are in, obviously. And I would love to have around me a group of very powerful queens that are ready to shift their wounds of unworthiness with men, their patterns with men that they have been carrying for a long time, and open their hearts to deeper love. Obviously, deeper love with yourself first, and then deeper love with the masculine. Like, you will be met with such provision, with such love, with such care when you are going into these spaces and doing this inner work that will be seen instantly in your reality. Like, I have testimonials from my clients, and I am the testimony of this, that when you are working energetically with the body and with the mind through all of these techniques that I am doing, that combine somatic work, energy healing, Tantra, obviously this is all based on Tantra, in a very grounded, secure, safe space, nervous system healing work, identity work, all of these will be able to form you into that woman that is already there, and she receives what she desires, and she's open to love. So this is a healing session that, like I said, is open to these select women that are ready for this work. I'm calling in only the most powerful, high-level leaders that are ready to go within themselves, and they're not afraid of meeting their shadows. They're not afraid to step into their power, even if it comes with pain, because sometimes this process can be painful, but it doesn't have to feel lonely. And this is why I'm here to support you, and this is why I'm holding this group ceremony for all of you to also get together and meet each other and connect. And even if it's online, the power will feel very strongly. Like, I highly suggest you go and check out my free Tantra guided meditation if you want to get a taste of my work and how this feels like also online at a distance. My power will activate you no matter where you are. You just have to be open, because this will be a channeled transmission. I'm connecting to a higher source, and I'm giving you exactly what you need in that moment. So if you feel the call, if you feel my words, if you feel my love, you can check out the link in the bio to sign up. It is only 55 euros, and it will be around 2 hours. So I would love to see you there. And if you have more questions, feel free to DM me on my Instagram. Now, let's get back to it. I just wanted to share this with you so you know what is alive in my world. And how I basically overcame all of this pain with men was through going into my own inner world and accepting the inner little girl that was still very hurt from her father, that was still holding in grudges and resentment and fear about, will he accept me? Will he love me? Again, one of the things that I see in women is that they place their desired partner on a pedestal, because they already see him as the king or the Prince Charming that has everything that they ever want. And that's amazing, because there is somebody out there who has everything that you want. And you don't need to settle for half of it. You don't need to settle for even 90% of it, because there will be somebody who has 100% of it, girl, trust me. And the thing is that because you see him as such a high, intelligent man that can provide for you, that loves you, that will be just everything that you desire, you tend to place him on a pedestal, and you tend to place that love somewhere outside of yourself. You don't feel that love inside of you, but you see it as something that will happen in the future when you are more healed, when you are more perfect, when you are more fixed, just as I talked about in the beginning of this episode. So the problem with that, obviously, is that you are not embodying that feeling and you don't feel like you are worthy of him just as you are. And that also comes from the shadow of you not feeling like you are the prize. Because low-key, maybe you're still stuck into the teenager that was rejected, that was loved only when she was giving her body to boys. I never learned what healthy relationships feel like, because my parents didn't have a healthy relationship and I love them, but this is the truth. I never understood how it feels like to receive a healthy man in your life that loves you unconditionally, because again, my body, my nervous system was not taught to that. My dad didn't know how to give me that. So I, all the time, felt like I needed to strive for it. So even when I bloomed and I became a beautiful woman, I became every man's dream. And I was told since the age of 19 from my first employer. My first employer, I was a hostess at a restaurant, and he told me when he fired me, not for the, he didn't, this is like as a backstory, I wasn't fired for any wrong reasons. He told me, you are every man's dream. And since then I've been hearing this phrase from multiple partners, from multiple men, but inside of myself I didn't fulfill that role. Inside of myself I didn't feel like I was every man's dream. Why? Because I was holding on to these wounds of unworthiness and these fears that I won't be good enough, because I always felt like I needed to strive for more and to perform more. But when I tell you that when I dropped into my own body, into my own being, when I learned how to love myself fully, unconditionally, when I really felt worthy from within, without anything from the outside to validate me, without any performance, when I also worked with goddesses in terms of spirit guides and beings that helped me on this journey, this is another story for another time. You can let me know if you want to hear more about my journey of connecting with goddesses, because it is also very special to my heart. That is when I started to really feel like a woman and really feel like I am every man's dream. And this is not about men, actually, because it's not about pleasing men, but it is about you feeling like you are the boss bitch. And not in terms of working, but you are that queen, that you are magnetic, that you are beautiful, that you are radiant, that you finally feel whole and complete within yourself. And through years of inner work, I've been working on myself for the past 6 or 7 years, almost daily sometimes, and not from a place of neediness or control or pushing through it, but this is the path that I have been on. So working on myself so much and being consistent with my inner work, with all of these practices of Tantra, of nervous system, of energy healing, everything that I talked about in this episode, have helped me overcome all of these blocks, all of the mental blocks, the physical blocks in my relationship with men, and helped me find secure, safe love within myself. So then, after some time, obviously, reality started to mirror that. I started to receive men that just wanted to give me healthy, safe love with nothing in return. Men, I remember my first partner after my 9-month celibacy period, when I discovered Tantra and I worked a lot on myself with the wisdom of Tantra, with opening my heart to the masculine and feeling more secure in myself and opening my body to sacred sensuality. I think the first partner, he was also into Tantra actually, which was amazing because I got to experience Tantra in a couple, and that is just like otherworldly. Like if you're in a relationship in any way listening to this, that's a whole nother level of love, intimacy, vulnerability. You cannot even put a price tag on it. You cannot even put a word on it because it's just godly. So I got to experience that, and he was my first partner that he just really wanted to give me so much. Like he just wanted to give me, he was seeing me on such a deep level. He wanted to give me so much emotional security and love, and for nothing. Like I needed to give nothing in return, when in the past I would attract only emotionally unavailable men who liked me but couldn't commit to me, and who always were in search of something from me, even if they weren't saying it. There was a subtle agenda that I was feeling in my body and in my nervous system of, I have to prove something to him. I have to offer something. I have to be sexually open in the way that he expects me to be open. I need to always be available with my feelings and always say the right things. Never make him mad. So when I rewired all of these patterns, because I became aware of these patterns, I rewired them in my body, in my subconscious. I worked with them internally to release them, to find that healthy, secure, empowered self inside of myself. That is when, obviously, this is the process of alchemy. You go into your own shadows, you become somebody new, and then after that, reality is meeting you, the state in which you are in. Because you cannot complain about the outer reality that men are not giving you enough if you're not checking in with yourself to see if you are actually a magnet for men who give you more than what you expect. To check in with yourself to see if you still choose men who are just below the standard. That don't have to be a lot below the standard, but just maybe like a few tiny little bits and pieces that you're overlooking, and you're still dating with men that are just potential. They just hold potential, but you're not already there. For me, this was another pattern of mine. I was the almost girl. I'm almost in a relationship, but then something happens and he flies away because I triggered him with something. And then this was also from my own wounds of unworthiness, of not feeling like I am good enough to be claimed and chosen, which is again something that we will transform in the group healing session and also in my new mentorship that I'm just releasing. Stay tuned for that for more details at the end. And that also came with me dating with men that were holding potential but were not fully there. And that doesn't mean that you should be a nun and you should date nobody and you should sleep with nobody, because that didn't work for me. After some time, also being celibate for like longer periods of time, that just didn't work for me, because I just have a different types of sexual energy, and that's fine. But when you're dating, then you shouldn't put your imagination and your expectations on a man that you know cannot give you everything, because you will be fucking hurt in the end. But if you're dating with non-attachment of, I'm just having fun, let's see, it will be nice, cute, whatever, you will be good. But that takes a certain level of self-mastery that I think very few women have on the planet. A handful of women have on the planet this level of self-mastery, because you need very, very good discipline to be able to keep your emotions in check, to keep your imagination in check, to keep your projections in check, so you don't get attached to somebody who's just offering you the love that your inner child needs, and you're falling for that, and then you're getting heartbroken because that person cannot give you what you desire truly, totally. But you understand the patterns of your inner child, and you're giving yourself that love that she needs and that she would normally look for in a relationship. And then from that place, you can be detached, you can be the queen, you can be the one who has multiple options, not just one, and chasing the one. So what we will do in this healing session, which is called Meet the One, is that we will take your attention from all of these stories that you have placed on men, all of these things of what you need from them and what they need to give you. And we will actually bring that power within yourself for you to see yourself as the queen, as the master, as the embodiment of the goddess. So we will highly work with the essence of your sensual and sexual energy also, because you need to be able to feel your power from within. If you want to date for marriage, you cannot just give yourself to any man that shows up. And I'm not saying sexually necessarily, also that, but also emotionally. Like I said, these type of things require a certain level of mastery and of constant inner work. And this is what I'm also helping you to rewire and to be your support in this path through my one-on-one mentorship. So the group healing session will reflect a very tiny portion of what you can experience in my work and in my world. I've worked with countless of women, and all of them are coming out with new relationships with men that make them feel seen, honored, and feeling a pleasure like they haven't felt in maybe their whole lives. They're coming out with a new felt sensations of their bodies, their sensuality, with a new empowerment in their magnetism, and their whole lives becomes even better. Even their jobs or even their careers just improve because they are feeling more confident inside of themselves. They are getting out of my mentorship programs, the ones who are in a relationship, with a much more juicy, connected, intimate love life between themselves and your partner, and just in general a whole new understanding of their emotions and their shadows, and an easier way to overcome challenges, because challenges will never stop, but you need to be able to have these tools to understand how to work through them and how to rise deeper into your power when challenging times appear. So this is the basis of my work, of my tantric work, that combines nervous system healing, years of working with ascended masters and high vibrational beings that have given me these powers of seeing into people's shadows and understanding them so well. Like, before you even say something to me, I will feel anything about you and everything about you, because I have these deep psychic abilities that allow me to understand what you are feeling, understand your shadows, understand messages about you that are coming from God, from the divine. And in this way, I am your channeler, I am your oracle, I am your greatest supporter, because I am the connection between you and your higher self. And you get to access all of these powers inside of you also. But this is a faster way, this is a rapid way to growth, to becoming the woman of your dreams, to having the love life of your dreams, and so on. So for the women who are feeling called for this mastery, for this greatness, for this sensuality, for this juiciness in their relationships, for meeting the one, I am inviting you to step into my mentorship program. I have a one-on-one mentorship that is for the woman who is dedicated to becoming the tantrika, who is dedicated to be on the tantric path and wants to have this weekly constant support with one-on-one calls, one-on-one sessions every single week. We are working together, and it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be juicy, it's not gonna feel like a chore, it's gonna feel like something that, oh my god, I cannot wait for that 1 or 2 hours with Indra at the end of the week, in which I just get to be myself, in which I just get to feel my body, the way in which I just get to really release everything that has been penting up during the week and just feel my own femininity, feel my power, and be transformed. And every single week will transform you in very different ways. And this is a mentorship that is happening at your own pace, at your own transformation of consciousness and of your identity. It's not like I'm planning this ahead. I'm literally feeling into the moment, into your energy every single week, what we need to work on, and we work on that exact same thing. Obviously the topics are, everything that I've touched upon, like intimacy, relationships, love, sensuality, and all of that. But with some of my long-term clients that I have been working for 1 year, we got to also discover her life purpose and her gifts as a medicine woman and as a healer, or things around your identity, even in a professional way. So our work doesn't have any limit. And now for the woman who wants a shorter term work, because my usual mentorship is of 3, 6, or 9 months, or 1 year, 12 months. For the woman who wants a shorter period of time of working together and with less ceremonies, with more time for self-integration, self-reflection, just 1 ceremony per month, 1 session per month, 1 call per month, in total 6 sessions during 3 weeks. For that woman, I invite you to leave me a message with the word feminine heart. So the name of my new mentorship program is called Feminine Heart, and this is for the woman who wants to focus on building a safe, secure relationship with men inside of herself, and for her to see that reflected into the type of men that she is attracting. And like I said, that is for the woman who is looking for less support, but still a very, very powerful work together that will completely change the trajectory of her life. And you will be thanking me on the day of your wedding for all of this work that we have done together that is coming through me. Like I said, this is coming from my own years of reflection and inner work and working with the best professionals in the tantric world, in the nervous system world, in the energetic field. And I am so happy to share this with you with so many powerful, advanced, incredible women that are really here to be the best versions of themselves. So if any of these sound very juicy and yummy for you, follow the instructions in the description below to sign up for Meet the One group healing session happening again next week, next Sunday, 11th of January. You can DM me to apply for the Tantrika mentorship. I have a few spots open for the woman who's dedicated for the full tantric path. And also DM me to request more details and join the Feminine Heart mentorship for the woman and the leader who is looking for less support, more time for integration for herself, but still very powerful work focused on healing the relationship with men and attracting the one. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the comments how this felt for you. I would love to hear your feedback. And as always, enjoy your day, and I will see you next time.